After the successful launch of the Smart #1, Smart Malaysia is keeping up the excitement with the Smart #3. This time around, they are taking things up a notch by offering a sportier and larger version of the #1, while still building on the same trusted platform. Just like its sibling, the Smart #3 comes in 3 different variants: the Pro, the Premium, and of course, the powerful Brabus edition. But in this review, I'm focusing on the entry-level Smart #3 Pro to find out if it's really worth choosing over the higher spec versions. Is it the perfect balance of performance and value? Let's dive in and find out. With that, welcome back to Carsick.my for another review video. Unlike the #1, the #3 is lower and longer, giving it a more sporty profile. It's designed to stand out without looking awkward, just pure refined style. Now, since this is the entry-level version, it comes equipped with reflector-style LED headlights rather than projector-style ones. Then again, these headlights still provide decent illumination, keeping you safe even on the darkest road. You might notice that the base #3 lacks the light bar at the front. While it doesn't affect any of the driving experience, it does dull back some of the vehicle's character. When you move to the rear of the #3, the full-width light bar tail light is retained here. It's a signature design feature seen across all #3 variants, giving the car a premium and cohesive look from every angle. Now, I'll admit, it can be tricky to spot the differences between the various models from the back, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. The consistent design choice helps maintain the upscale aesthetic regardless of the spec level. This particular model is the lowest spec #3, featuring smaller 19-inch rims wrapped in 245/45 R19 tires. And honestly, I think these rims actually look way better than the larger rims on the higher spec variant. Step inside the Smart #3 and you might notice a touch of deja vu. Its design language echoes the Smart #1. But don't be fooled, Smart has introduced some key changes to give the #3 its own unique character. One of the most noticeable updates, the aircon vents. Unlike the #1's 2 horizontal vents, the #3 sports 3 circular ones at the center of the dashboard, and it does reminds me of the Mercedes A-Class. Gone is the white color dashboard of the #1. Instead, the #3 features a more sophisticated gunmetal grey color. Not only does it look more upscale, but it's also way easier to maintain. Now, keep in mind that this base spec variant has no ambient lighting, making it feel a bit less special compared to the higher spec #3. But even without it, the changes in design choices still makes the #3 feels better than the #1. When it comes to the instrument cluster and infotainment screen, the #3 doesn't stray far from its sibling. You'll find the same familiar setup, a 9.2-inch instrument cluster and a 12.8-inch infotainment screen. Thanks to the consistent design, getting used to the #3 setup is effortless, especially if you're familiar with the #1. The graphics are nearly identical, so information is right where you expect it to be. However, one thing you might notice missing on this base spec variant is the heads-up display. While that's a small compromise, at least the instrument cluster is still separate from the infotainment screen, minimizing distractions compared to models that integrate both. At first glance, the infotainment screen in the #3 might look pretty familiar. It's almost identical to the one in the #1, but there's a subtle change within it. In the #1, the graphics featured a fox, but in the #3, that's been swapped out for a cheetah. Other than that, the system itself is pretty much unchanged, which means it's super easy to get the hang of it if you're used to the #1. And yes, you still get the convenience of wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. One difference though is that this base spec variant of the #3 doesn't come with Beats premium audio system, but honestly, the sound quality still holds up pretty well, giving you a decent listening experience for your favorite tunes. Sitting in the driver's seat, the first thing I notice is how comfortable it feels. The cabin wraps around you like a cockpit, giving you that cozy, snug feeling while still offering a commanding view of the road ahead. The seats provide excellent lateral support, keeping you securely in place, especially around the bends. However, the seat bottom is on the shorter side, which might reduce thigh support for taller drivers. Despite that, long drives remain comfortable, with no real fatigue setting in. Now, let's move to the rear. This is where the #3 excels, especially compared to the EX30. The rear seats offer a significantly better comfort, with a more ergonomic sitting position that ensures comfort, even for taller passengers. There's plenty of legroom and headroom, making it one of the better rear seat setup among its platform siblings that I've tested. Behind the rear seats, the Smart #3 offers 370 litres of boot space, 100 litres more than the Smart #1. Now, while that might not sound massive for a vehicle of this size, it's definitely enough for most small families. Fold down the rear seats and you'll expand the cargo capacity to a generous 1,160 litres, perfect for those IKEA runs when you needed it. And up front, there's an extra 15 litres of storage space, ideal for keeping smaller items out of the cabin. The Smart #3 Pro, the entry-level model, comes with a single rear-mounted electric motor. Its battery size has been slightly reduced to 49 kWh, giving you a theoretical range of 342 km. Here are the performance figures for the Smart #3. The #3 Pro might have a single motor setup, but this EV actually felt pretty nippy. Thanks to the impressive torque from the electric motor, it still packs plenty of punch. One of the best things about the single motor configuration is how smooth and manageable it makes the driving experience. Unlike some performance EVs that push you back into your seat, the #3 Pro delivers power in a more linear manner. And since it's rear-wheel drive, there's barely any wheel spin when you hit the accelerator, even from a complete stop. That means better traction and a more controlled takeoff. Now, here's the catch. The single motor setup is efficient, sure, but the battery itself is on the smaller side. The manufacturer claims a range of 343 km, but in real-world conditions, you might only get around 290 km. That means more frequent stops at the chargers. So while the #3 Pro delivers a smooth and powerful ride, just be prepared to plan your charging stops a bit more carefully. Still, for those who want a balanced drive without the overly aggressive feel, the #3 Pro's single motor setup does a great job. When it comes to ride quality, the difference between the #3 and the #1 is immediately noticeable. The #3 brings a significantly improved suspension setup that elevates the entire driving experience. Honestly, it feels more akin to the EX30 than the #1. Bumps are handled with a level of sophistication that's hard to miss. The car settles down quickly yet smoothly, thanks not only to the retuned suspension but also the extended wheelbase, which plays a crucial role in its balanced ride. And when it comes to cornering, the #3 remains composed and confident. The steering feels direct, giving you just enough feedback from the front wheels. However, I have to admit, it still feels a bit artificial at times. A little refinement there would go a long way. Even so, the #3 manages to handle twisty sections impressively well for a vehicle of its size. It strikes a fine balance between comfort and agility, making it a solid choice for drivers looking for a well-rounded experience. One of the standout features of the #3 is its incredibly well-tuned braking system. You can really feel the difference when the brake switches from regenerative braking to physical braking. That seamless transition gives you a much better control and allows for precise braking modulation. And because you can easily tell where the regenerative brakes end and the physical brakes kick in, you are able to maximize the efficiency of regenerative braking. Another great touch, the hashtag tree lets you coast when you lift off the throttle pedal, making your drive even more efficient. It's all about giving you control while optimizing energy use. As expected from Smart, the hashtag tree comes loaded with a full suite of driver assistance systems. It's part of the brand's commitment to safety and innovation. However, just like the Smart hashtag one, these systems can sometimes feel a bit intrusive since they are activated by default every time you start the car. But here's the good news. With the Smart hashtag tree, I discovered a way to switch off some of the more annoying ADAS features. It's a small victory, but it definitely makes the driving experience a bit more enjoyable. Now, let's take a look at the driver assistance systems available on the Smart hashtag tree. With an entry-level price of just 175,000 ringgit, the Smart hashtag tree offers a lot more than you expect. It's a step up from the hashtag one, giving you significantly more space while keeping the performance just as impressive. But here's the thing, this base model might not be my top pick. Why? Well, while it's affordable, it does miss out on a lot of features that make the higher spec variants really stand out. Personally, I'd go for the premium variant. It's got most of the cool features from the Brabus version without breaking the bank, and on top of that, it also offers a much better range. The base model can feel a bit underwhelming once you notice what you are missing compared to the higher spec option. But even so, as an EV itself, the Smart hashtag tree still manages to impress. In fact, I take it over the hashtag one or even the Volvo EX30, despite them sharing a lot of the same components. Hope you enjoyed this review. Please kindly leave a like and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more review videos. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them below. If you want to find out more about the Smart hashtag tree Pro, you can head on over to our website carsick.my. Hope to see you soon. Bye.